High above the city stood a magnificent statue, towering over the rooftops and casting a long shadow in the evening sun. It was the statue of the Happy Prince, a symbol of joy and prosperity for the people. He was covered in gold leaf, which shimmered brilliantly in the sunlight, making him look almost alive. He had bright sapphire eyes that seemed to watch over the city with a gentle, caring gaze. A large ruby glowed on his sword hilt, a symbol of his bravery and strength. The townspeople admired him greatly. They thought he was very handsome, a perfect representation of their beloved prince. One day, a little sparrow flew by, its wings tired from a long journey. He was tired from his long journey, having flown across many lands and faced many challenges. He had been flying for many days, searching for a place to rest and regain his strength. He needed a place to rest, somewhere safe and peaceful. He saw the statue of the Happy Prince, standing tall and inviting. The sparrow decided to rest at the prince's feet, finding comfort in the presence of the golden statue. The sparrow snuggled between the statue's feet. He thought the statue's feet were very large. He felt safe and warm. The sparrow looked up at the prince's face. It was a kind and gentle face. The sparrow closed his eyes and started to fall asleep. Suddenly, he felt a raindrop on his head, then another. The sparrow looked up. The sky was dark and cloudy. It was going to rain. The sparrow tried to find a better shelter, but there was nowhere to go.
Little Sparrow.
The sparrow was startled. He looked around.
Who is talking?
It is I, the Happy Prince.
The sparrow couldn't believe it. The statue was talking.
Can you help me? I see a woman crying. She's very poor. Her son is sick. She needs money for medicine. Please take a gold leaf from my cloak. Give it to her.
The sparrow was hesitant, but he felt sorry for the woman. The sparrow carefully peeled off a gold leaf, its tiny beak working with precision and care. He flew down to the woman, his wings fluttering gracefully in the gentle breeze. He dropped the gold leaf in her hand. The woman was shocked, her eyes widening in disbelief at the unexpected gift. She looked up to the sky and smiled, her heart filled with gratitude and wonder. The sparrow felt a warmth in his heart, a sense of fulfillment from his act of kindness. It felt good to help others, to bring a bit of joy and hope into their lives. He flew back to the prince, his tiny heart swelling with pride and purpose.
Thank you, little sparrow. Your kindness knows no bounds. You have a kind heart and your actions speak volumes.
The sparrow puffed his chest with pride, knowing he had made a difference. From that day on, the sparrow became the prince's helper, a trusted companion in all his endeavors. Every day, he would deliver gold leaves, rubies, and sapphires to the needy, spreading joy and prosperity wherever he went.
What is wrong?
Little sparrow, I've given away all my golden jewels, but I can still help one more person.
The prince pointed to a blind woman begging for food.
She needs to see her grandchildren one last time, but she has no money for surgery. Little sparrow, will you take one of my eyes to the doctor? He can use it to heal her.
The sparrow was horrified. Take the prince's eye? How could he?
Please, little sparrow, this is the only way I can help her.
The sparrow knew he had to do it, even though it broke his heart. He carefully pecked at the prince's eye. He felt a tear roll down his cheek as he pulled the sapphire free. The sparrow flew to the doctor's house. He dropped the sapphire into the doctor's hands. The doctor was amazed. He had never seen such a beautiful sapphire. He used the sapphire to heal the blind woman's eyes. The sparrow flew back to the prince. The prince was now blind in one eye. The sparrow felt terrible. He had hurt his friend.
Don't worry, little sparrow. I'm happy to have helped the woman.
The sparrow knew he couldn't leave the prince now. He would stay with him forever. The sparrow told the prince stories. He sang him songs. He brought him news from the city below. The prince was no longer sad. He had found a true friend in the little sparrow. Soon, the winter came. It was very cold. The entire town was blanketed in snow, and the air was crisp and biting. The streets were empty, and the only sound was the howling wind. The little sparrow was freezing. Its tiny body shivered uncontrollably, and it struggled to find warmth in the harsh winter. He huddled close to the prince for warmth. The prince's gentle hands provided a small refuge from the cold.
I am cold. The sparrow's voice was weak and trembling.
The prince smiled. His heart was filled with compassion for the tiny creature. He told the sparrow to take his other eye. The sparrow refused. He couldn't bear to see the prince completely blind. He couldn't bear to see the prince completely blind. But the prince insisted. He knew that the sparrow needed it more than he did. He wanted to help his friend. The sparrow finally agreed. With a heavy heart, he took the prince's last sapphire eye. He took the prince's last sapphire eye to a freezing family. The family was in desperate need, and the gem brought them hope and warmth. The prince was now blind. He could no longer see the world around him, but he had never been happier. His heart was full of joy and contentment. He had the sparrow, his true friend. Their bond was stronger than ever. And he had learned that love and friendship are the greatest treasures of all. They are more valuable than any gem or wealth. They are our true eyes. They allow us to see beyond the physical and into the heart. They help us see the beauty in the world. A beauty that is often hidden from the eyes but visible. A beauty that is often hidden from the eyes but visible to the heart.